Movie guy Will Meyer. We're talking movies, of course, and the first one we're talking about is Atomic Blonde, and this one's unique because it is just a powerhouse female sort of superhero-esque
Yeah, it's kind of like a
character.
female James Bond movie,
Yeah.
really. Yeah, stars Charlize Theron as a British agent who goes undercover in Berlin during the Cold War to retrieve a stolen document that contains the list of names of other British agents. That is the plot description, but like I said, this is really just an excuse for Charlize Theron to waste some bad guys in entertaining ways.
Right.
So yeah, it's a movie that tries to look cool, and it mostly succeeds. It looks great. It has a great soundtrack, and that's good because it masks some of the problems of this movie. One being her character, who she does a lot of stuff physically. Charlize Theron's a great actress too. I mean, she's up for anything, but she's a total bore. Daniel, I write down descriptions of characters during movies and stuff, and for her, the only thing I could write down was she was sleepy. Like most of the time, she just walks around lethargic. She has
Isn't
no.
this an action movie?
It is an action movie, and what you're seeing right there, I swear, all the action is packed into the last half hour.
Okay.
But she does great with the physical stuff, but like when she's not there, she just doesn't have much personality. And a lot of the characters are underdeveloped. That's partially by design, though, because this is a spy movie. It doesn't really want you to know who's good and who's bad. It wants you to keep guessing until the end. But it just goes so over the top with the double crosses. By that last half hour, you're just exhausted and confused. I just stopped trying to follow it all together. But it's a good thing, though, because like I said, all that action is packed really into that last half hour. And so it's really thrilling. Daniel, there's an 8-minute long fight scene in a staircase that's one take. It is exhilarating. I loved it. That was worth the price of admission alone.
Okay.
But like I said, you can't really make up for an hour and a half before of boredom and confusion. So I was disappointed. I was really excited for this film. So I'm saying 2 out of 4.
2 out of 4 stars. Okay, and do you see sequels?
I do see sequels, and
Okay.
actually, I think they can improve with a sequel because,
Right.
I mean, the groundwork is there. I think they're going to do better. I think that Charlize Theron deserves a better James
a good
Bond
actress.
movie. Yeah, she's great. So I'm excited for another one.
We'll look forward to that. One a lot of people are looking forward to, Dunkirk.
Yeah, this is my #1 movie of the summer. I could not wait to see this film. Happy to say it did not disappoint. This is a film that tells the story of the Battle of Dunkirk during World War II, where Allied troops were stranded on these beaches and surrounded by the German army, and they tried to evacuate. This is really an escape movie. It's a movie that's all about survival. It's from Chris Nolan, who brought us the Dark Knight movies as well as Memento, Inception. Great cast: Tom Hardy, Mark Rylance, Cillian Murphy, even Harry Styles in this film. It's one that, like I said, I was super excited to see, and I think audiences are really enjoying this film. I think it's going to get an Oscar nomination for Best Picture as well. It's a film that is unusual, though. I'm kind of surprised that people are responding to it so warmly because it's really unusual. It tells the story of the battle from the land, the sea, and the air, and the way the timelines intersect is really interesting. You'll see something happen, and then 20 minutes later, without any warning, you'll see it from a different perspective. So it's really strange, but this movie, like I said, it's really just out to create an experience of survival, and I think it's really effective at that. It's brutally intense from the first minute, and it does not let up for a single second. I really mean that. I don't think there's any quiet whatsoever
So
in
you
this
weren't
movie.
bored during this one?
No, this was so thrilling, and I think it's really effective. I saw in an interview this week where a 97-year-old veteran who was at the battle said he watched this movie, it was like he was just back there again. So that
Wow.
tells you how effective it is. I think Nolan does a great job at showing you how horrific and how arbitrary war can be. When he tries to, give you some uplifting stuff, it didn't work for me. It has moved a lot of people. That part, I saw it twice, and I wanted to be moved by it. I just wasn't, but I still was enormously entertained and impressed by this movie. It's gorgeous to look at. Film with 65mm and IMAX cameras. See it and see it on the biggest screen possible.
Well, if Will Meyer likes it, if the veterans like it, then it's a successful war
it's
movie.
a really
right?
good movie. Yeah.
Next up is Maudie.
Maudie, yeah, this is a little independent movie playing at Downtown West. It's a romantic
Okay.
drama starring Sally Hawkins as a woman who had debilitating arthritis, but a passion for painting, and it's a love story between her and this grumpy fishmonger played by Ethan Hawke. It's a love story, but not only that, it's also a biopic. She was a real person. She loved to paint. She would paint the walls of her home, and it caught the attention of neighbors. Long story short, she was eventually painting things for President Nixon. So
Wow.
it's an incredible story of an amazing woman, and I'm not so much talking about her paintings that are amazing. I'm talking about her. She was she had debilitating pain most of her life, and she was also just made fun of for her physical appearance at times. But she treated everyone that she met with kindness, with respect. She made everyone that she met feel warm and welcomed. And I think you can feel that throughout this movie because of Sally Hawkins' performance. She's an amazing actress, and I think she gives an awards-worthy performance here. She's really good. Ethan Hawke's not half bad either. It's a charming, modest movie that I really enjoyed. I think you will too. It's over 2 hours long, though, and it definitely shouldn't be. This film really, struggles to stretch the length out to 2.5 hours. But I think overall, it's still a really good movie. a great performance at the center of it. So I think it's 3 stars, definitely worth seeing.
3 stars, not a bad review from Will Meyer. So now we move from our little indie movie back to the big old
Back to the
box
big
office
one.
War of the Planet of the Apes. What is
Yeah.
this, the 20th in that
Now, this is
installment?
the third in the newly rebooted franchise.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a movie that's a couple weeks old. I usually don't go this far back, but Ding, I think this is the best franchise movie of the summer.
Oh, wow.
I think it's fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah, the last one was really great too, and it's from that director Matt Reeves. Also has Andy Serkis back as Caesar, Woody Harrelson as the bad guy in this movie. It's one that I think does just so many things so well. It's a film that has great action. I think the set pieces are thrilling. They're original. Suspense is great. After this movie, I could not believe it was 2.5 hours long because it was so entertaining from start to finish. Great special effects too. I believed everything I saw in this movie, and this is a film where you have monkeys on horseback shooting assault rifles.
Okay.
And so the fact that you don't question that is a testament to the special effects department as well as to the filmmakers. And I think that Andy Serkis gives an amazing performance. As you can see right there, he plays Caesar the ape, but I mean, this is really a performance. You know, everything you see the ape do is him. Every facial expression, every movement.
Wow, look at that transition.
And so yeah,
there.
there's an Oscar campaign for him because this really is a great performance. It's no different than Daniel Day-Lewis putting on makeup to play Lincoln. And so I think he's extraordinary. It's nuanced, it's powerful. I think they should definitely remember him come Oscar time. But a thoughtful movie that's very moving as well. This is just a template for how blockbusters should be made. It's intelligent, intimate, it's intense. Really enjoyed it. Definitely go see this one.
Very positive reviews from Will
Yeah.
Meyer for the most part, and we can catch your Facebook page for even more, right?
Yeah, facebook.com/Will Meyer the Movie Guy.
All right, we'll be sure to check that out. Will, thanks so much for being on the show.